I just saw the 1997 British biographical romantic drama Wilde. Directed by Brian Gilbert and written by Julian Mitchell based on the biography Oscar Wilde, written by Richard Ellman, Wilde stars Stephen Fry as the witty Irish poet and playwright, with a supporting cast including Jude Law, Michael Sheen, Jennifer Eel, Vanessa Redgrave, Zoe Wanamaker, Tom Wilkinson, and the feature debut of Orlando Bloom, who has a non-speaking part as a male prostitute. The story begins in 1882 when Wilde returns from a successful tour of America, marries his sweetheart, the Irish writer Constance Lloyd, and quickly has two sons with her. It's during this period the supposedly bi-curious Wilde loses his gay cherry to visiting Canadian journalist Robbie Ross, played by Michael Sheen, who, if you believe the movie, basically seduces him. This begins a string of affairs by Oscar, culminating in his completely falling in love with the handsome but incredibly selfish and childish Lord Alfred Douglas, played by Jude Law. Their on-again, off-again, tempestuous relationship formed the basis of the movie, until Alfred's cretin of a father, the Marquess of Queensberry, played by Tom Wilkinson, in an effort to stop his son's homosexual dalliances, publicly exposes Wilde's sexual orientation, homosexuality being against the law in England at the time. Wilde sues for libel. But though both cases are dropped, enough evidence comes out against Wilde that the Crown sues him for gross indecency. He's convicted and sentenced to prison, which breaks him physically, and he dies shortly after his release while living in exile in France in November of 1900, at the age of only 46. While the story is definitely interesting, the way it's presented is just not that compelling, especially the love story. Since Jude Law's character is such a snotty prick, it's hard to believe anyone, let alone the witty and erudite Oscar Wilde, would be so smitten to put up with him for long. Also, I didn't care for the characterization of Wilde, who seems such a weak man. Obviously, I never met the guy, and it's based on a biographer's work, but if he was really like that in his personal life, it's kind of disappointing. One thing I did like was that during the movie, Fry reads excerpts from the Wilde story The Selfish Giant that pertain to different segments of his life in a profound manner. But overall, I had to grade Wilde at a 5.8, and if you know my grading scale, you know that a 5.5 to a 5.9 is decent, and while Wilde's life is interesting, the movie itself was only decent. But don't take my word for it. Check it out and let me know what you think in the comments. Now I gotta run, because the next movie I want to see is starting right this minute.